topic here. All right. I have to get to a topic. I haven't even gotten to one yet. This will change the complexity with some of your guys here. Okay? Man, there's so much work to do on defense. There is so much work to do. But would you be open to doing this? Hey, Yale, would you be open to doing this? Would you take the 22nd pick and the 53rd pick and move up to 10 and take Brock Bowers? I think he's the best player in the draft. And I think of all the players on the team, I think he could help Hurts out more than anybody that's on that current team right now. Why do it? Jalen wouldn't even get Goddard involved or wide receiver 3. Now add another weapon with Saquon? No, not the right quarterback for him. Well, you would answer your question at quarterback. Because if you can't have a quarterback throw for $4,000 and win you a Super Bowl with Brock Bowers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley, and one of the top 3 O-lines in football, you'll never win. You'll never win with him. You're never going to win with him. Trust me when I say you're never going to win with that quarterback in Philadelphia. You're never going to win. But you would have a you would have a ready-made football team for a quarterback to step right in and win. You'd have a ready-made team. Just throw the keys to a guy who can get the ball to them and not turn the ball over. Okay? I mean, what we've seen with all the quarterback movement and what we've seen, any quarterback's tradable. The only guy there's only one quarterback I think in pro football that's not tradable. That's the guy in KC. The rest of them are. Powers at 10 or trade for Surtain. Would you give the 10? Would you give the 22nd? Would that be good enough? The 22nd and the 53rd for Surtain might be good enough. Okay? Might be good enough. Hey, the day, Dick Train, you understand that your boy's not a superstar is the day you'll understand that you're not going to win shit with that guy. And that 22 was like Rex Grossman. And let me see. Who else? Colin Kaepernick. That's all he is. He's Rex Grossman and Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, I wonder if Denver would go, here's 22. Because then, get this, Yale, Denver could take the 22nd pick and move up with Chicago. And where's Denver take? Denver's at 12. Denver could give Chicago or even New England to get to the third hole. Would Bowers be there at 12, though? So Bowers will be great, but the D, I know. I get it. I know. Why would Denver trade Surtain? Will someone tell Ty? Will someone tell Ty why Denver would trade Surtain? Why would Denver trade Patrick Surtain? Yale. Correct. Who's their quarterback right now? If they started the season right now, I don't even know. Who would be their quarterback? What's the point of having a corner on your football team when you can't win games? And you don't even know who your starting quarterback is, and you're in the AFC West with Jim Harbaugh and Andy Reid now. And there's another one that Barb said, and because the Broncos are 100 years away from winning a Super Bowl. Jared Stedman is the quarterback right now for the Denver Broncos. That's why they would trade Patrick Surtain. Okay? Jared Stedman. You think he's going to compete with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes in the AFC West? I don't. Not for the next 5 years. Brian, right. Who? Okay. Who? He could. It's the Jaron Jones, 4th round. You're not doing dick with guys like that. Last time they were good, Vic was the head coach. Vic drafted him too. And former Patriot quarterback, of course, because, you know, guys like Colin Cowherd say that Belichick didn't know quarterbacks, and yet Stedman's going to be a starting quarterback, rise of right now in Denver. Mac Jones has started games. What's his name? Jacoby Brissett has started games. Tom Brady, Garoppolo, Matt Castle won a division. I'll tell you this. Bill Belichick has drafted more quarterbacks that played and won games than any quarterback in the NFL currently today. There's nobody that has drafted more quarterbacks that have started games. And he's got 6 Super Bowl titles. That's a fact. Okay? Jimmy G even took a team to a Super Bowl. Jimmy G took a team to a Super Bowl. Belichick drafted. Matt Castle won a division title in Kansas City in 11 games in New England. Didn't even start a game at USC, and he still drafted him. Tom Brady, don't really have to say anything. Jacoby Brissett started ball games in Indianapolis and actually won a ton of games. Mac Jones finished runner-up in the Rookie of the Year. Started games. Is he great? No, but he started. I mean, they got Jared Stidham now, who's the starting quarterback as of today in Denver. You got 6 dudes that he drafted that have started ball games in the league. Name me another coach who's done that. Who? Name me another guy. There's my guy, Mark Holmes. Mark, let's say this to you here. Hey, by the way, let me say something to Mark. Been watching his stuff. He's been doing a great job. We really appreciate him being part of this whole thing. Hey, Mark, let me say this to you about Micah Parsons. Hey, dude, if the guy's a headache, how about this, Mark? If Micah Parsons is a headache and the Cowboy organization has trouble with him, learn to get over yourself and coach him. Charles Haley wasn't easy to coach, and Jimmy coached him. Michael Irvin wasn't easy to coach, but he coached him. And if that guy has, and there's somebody in the organization that has an ass with him, coach him. That's what good organizations do. They coach problem childs like Aaron Hernandez. And they don't bitch and moan and cry about it. Okay? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And these quarterback wash-ups end up being coaches. Yes, they do. Yeah, yes, they do. All right. Let's do this here. Has Jordan Davis, Charles Haley was a headache. Jimmy had the balance scale. You're a dick? Okay. You're a dick. You don't want to practice. You say obnoxious things in the locker room. Fair enough. You get me 2 sacks and 6 tackles a game. That's going to go like this. I'm okay with it. I don't give a shit if you're a headache. Like, look at A.J. Owens. Okay? A.J. Owens is the podcast they're upset with. Hey, get this. A.J. Owens, he gets 1,300 yards a year and 95 catches and 8 to 10 touchdowns. I'm going to live with his bullshit because he's productive. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I am. Why do the 49ers and Cowboy fans love Philly media? Oh, you guys are just, Dan, don't you get me started about Super Bowl prep. McMullen would have you believe that Vic worked with the offense to prep the KCD. Mark Holmes is Jerry Jones's next wife. Randy Gregory, I can't understand, but Micah. I can understand, but Micah? Hey, man, Micah Parsons. Here's the problem and I don't know if Mark was part of this or not, but here's what happened with Micah Parsons. They saw that guy burst onto the scene, and you know what everyone started doing, all the Cowboy media people? Oh, my God, he's the best thing I've ever seen. Holy shit, this guy's better than Lawrence Taylor. And I'm like, you might want to pump the brakes on that. The guy's not Lawrence Taylor. But you got Cowboy media all over the country building that guy up. And get this, when he doesn't live up to the hype, everyone looks at him as a disappointment. Why are you disappointed in Micah Parsons? Why are you upset with Micah Parsons? You know why you're upset? You built this guy. Hey, Eagle fans are building Jalen Hurts up to be the next superstar, and he's not. Cowboy fans are notorious for this. They'll build a guy up. Like, look at CeeDee Lamb. How many people truly believe that CeeDee Lamb is better than Devontae Smith? I don't. I think if CeeDee Lamb is in Cincinnati, he's T. Higgins. He's T. Higgins. But because he plays in Dallas, he's Michael Irvin or Des Bryant. Absolutely, Barb. Dak Prescott is the great example of Cowboy fans building a guy up into being Troy Aikman. And he's not. Troy Aikman is a 3-time Super Bowl champion quarterback. But if you listen to Jerry thinks Tony Romo's the best quarterback to ever play in Dallas. If Jalen's not, then I guess we go with Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee? If I see Tanner McKee taking snaps for the Eagles, everyone should be fired. Everyone. And the owner should sell the team. Silz, the solution to the problem is moving one of our wide receivers for picks so we can retool for the 34 switch. It has nothing to do with their skill. The equity that you would get in the trade, plus the savings in cash, all of that. But you'd have to eat a big cap hit. You'd have to eat a big cap hit. Okay? You would. I mean, and Mark goes like this, 1749 and 12 TDs. Yeah. Hey, Mark, congratulations. You're in the land of A.J. Brown. It didn't mean dick. You got rolled by the Packers, and the Eagles got rolled by the Bucks. What did it get you? Nothing. Nothing. And he's a single target. Michael Gallup blew. Your 2 and 3 sucked. He got every single one of the targets almost at CeeDee Lamb. And it was so predictable, the Packers annihilated him. I mean, I think CeeDee Lamb, I think he's a good ball player. I wouldn't put him in the upper echelon of top flight wideouts. I just wouldn't. He came on. You know why he came on? Hey, you know why he came on? Hey, by the way, I don't think Mark understands this too. So, Mark, let me tell you about your top flight guy you're going to pay $28 million to. So, Stephon Diggs is going on his third team. Devontae Adams is on 2. Tyreek Hill's on 2. Who else makes big money? A.J. Brown will be on his second after next year. What do these guys all have in common? $25 million and no Super Bowls. And Tyreek Hill didn't get paid big money when he won his first Super Bowl. They threw him out of the room and threw him out of the club because he wanted money. And they went on to win 2 more. Get this. Yale goes, I'll take Cheetah. That's not what Kansas City said. They said, you can have him, Miami. You go pay him. And you got Jalen Waddle. And you can't do shit with him? And every time you get into a game with a physical football team, what happens? The Dolphins get run over. He has growing up to do. And if he does, watch out. The problem with what Mark is saying about the Cowboys, like when we had Tony Casillas on the other day, as a player in Dallas, you can't grow up because you have no authority leader in the locker room. You see, when Coach Johnson was there was one head rooster in charge. It wasn't Jerry. It was Jimmy. That's the guy you answer to. And you grew because of tough coaching. There's not tough coaching in Dallas. It's laid back coaching. Because they don't answer to the head coach. They answer to the owner, who has 2 radio shows a week and goes on and tells everybody how bad his coach or his quarterback isn't playing. Players in the locker room goes like this. Well, who's in charge? Oh, the owner. Okay. The vocal owner is in charge. And it's why the Cowboys for 30 years, and as long as Jerry Jones is the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, they'll never win. They will never win. They have not been able to duplicate the things that Jimmy did. Even with the great players that they've drafted. What's been the one common denominator in Dallas in the last 30 years? It's Jerry running the team. He's changed everything. Coaches, quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, O-line, defense. Overpaid, overhyped. And he can't get out of the first round. Why? Because it's his culture. Cowboys don't have a winning culture. They just don't have a winning culture. And by the way, that's not me talking. That's the results talking. I mean, Jerry Jones is a phenomenal businessman for the league and has done, he's P.T. Barnum and he's Vince McMahon. He's completely that. But he's no Al Davis. Yale says the Eagles have been more successful over the last 20 years. Yale, can I make a comparison to you? This is how I see the Eagles in the last 25 years compared to the Cowboys. It reminds me of what the Red Sox have done to the Yankees in the last 25 years. The Red Sox have been a better organization, have gone to more World Series. Because why? Dale Epstein, Dave Dombrowski, Larry Lucchino. They've had front office people in that building. And what else has been the difference? The boss died. It's one of the things that's made the Lakers different. Jeannie Buss is not Dr. Buss. There's a reason. I mean, the Red Sox have taken over the Yankees in the last 25 years. Al Davis's problems were that the NFL kept him in courtrooms. Because when Al Davis was just running his team, they had the highest win percentage of any football team in the National Football League for decades. He was a revolutionary. He's a maverick. But, and by the way, now everybody holds communities hostage for new stadiums because of what Al Davis did. I mean, it starts with management and people who know when to get the hell out of the way. Prince, you don't have to worry about Dallas. Their fans are the greatest fans in the world from February until September. They win the offseason. They win the expectations wars. But when the season starts, reality hits. And then they turn their hat inside out for another team that they root for. Because they know, quite frankly, they're not going anywhere. The Cowboys have become the Cubs before the Cubs won the World Series. We'll get them next year. I mean, yeah, after a while, when you keep getting punched in the face, you have to duck, don't you? The Cowboys keep getting punched in the face, and they don't duck. Because you know why? They got the same mentality that Howie has. They think their process is gold. Come to Philly, where we sign quarterbacks for being one-year wonders, and we have one of the best cameramen in Sirianni. I don't know why you guys sign these quarterbacks the way you do. I think it's absurd, and I think it's ridiculous the way you sign both Wentz and Jalen Hurts to these contracts, and you jumped ahead of yourself because, you know, I get it, the cap and all that, you're trying to get ahead with the cap. But when you're talking about franchise quarterbacks, you guys have hey, Jalen Hurts is as overhyped. Hey, Brian, Jalen Hurts is as overhyped as Michael Parsons is. He's not a franchise quarterback. Michael Parsons is not Lawrence Taylor. They're not. By the way, Lamar Jackson, is that style going to win a Super Bowl? I don't believe so. I just don't. I don't believe so. Like to watch him. Watching Jalen and watching Lamar is like watching a better version of Michael Vick. Steve goes, Jalen Hurts is not overhyped. And this is what makes me get upset about Steve. His rookie year, his 22 year, and last year, he's not overhyped. Where in the world do you see one thing that's consistent with that take that he just made? When he's the quarterback in Philly's never been consistent. How do you have that take? I mean, every quarterback is overhyped except Mahomes? No. I think Joe Burrow's a damn good-looking passer. He can win from the pocket. But his problem is health. See, every quarterback has an issue. The guy in Buffalo, it's brains. Stupid moves. He still wins. It's crazy. The only thing you guys say to this about Josh Allen and how you guys talk about Josh Allen with JAKIB or with Jalen, guy's got the same winning percentage, and he leads the league in turnovers, and he's won 4 straight AFC East titles. Yet he still wins. Jalen got to a Super Bowl. That's not the metric on what makes a great quarterback. It's winning them and being consistent. Jalen's had 3 straight trips to the playoffs. Well, I'll ask you one more. Hey, get this. Let me think. So did Mark Sanchez. Arthur, you want to hear something else? I think Mark Sanchez made it to 3 straight AFC championship games. May have been 2. Am I right, Yale? Mark Sanchez made it to 3 straight AFC championship games. So Jalen's as good as Mark Sanchez? For every single time you tell me about Jalen 3 playoffs, I'll give you Mark Sanchez. He did the same shit Jalen did. He got the 3 straight AFC title games. What happened? What happened? Blew that up, didn't we? Hey, blew that up. Eagles had top. Okay. Now here we go with the excuses on Sanchez. So it was a great topic. But your Howie Swallows was pride gives up the draft and lets his coaches have control. This will never change. Poorly run business can have a great year like 17 and 22. Absolutely. And then get this, Bob, if you're a stockbroker and you look at the stock of the Eagles, would you say it's a stable stock or would you say it's a volatile stock? What would you say that stock would be? Jalen was a leader. I must have missed that in the last 7 games of the year, Arthur. I must have missed that. He was a tomato can. So you think inside of winning a Super Bowl and then going to 4 wins and firing your Super Bowl coach, then getting back to a Super Bowl is not volatile, but stable. So you don't see the stock going up and down. That's stable. Leadership is overrated. It sure was last year, wasn't it? Because not one of you guys showed it. Line chart is trending upwards. You thought last year was trending upwards? Where? The stock went like this last year, Yale. Here's the stock of the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles. That thing looked like Truth Social. That thing looked like Truth Social. Or better yet, hey, here's one better. Right, Xander? Here's the 2023 stock for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like StreamYard. Right? I guarantee when you wake up in the morning, that StreamYard stock's not going to be trending in a good place. Oh, man. And you might want to look at that thing for a little bit, right? So it's just like the stock market, how he makes money if you're up and down because his clients keep buying every season. Absolutely true, Bob. That's a great take. You know how Big Silz used to make money as a broker? He's a quiet leader. You know how I used to make money? You call up a guy, and here was my stock pitch. Here was my stock pitch to people. I made quite a bit of money. I worked at Bear Stearns. Hey, this is Dan Cilio. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, listen, and I'll just give you Waste Management. I'll go like, one of the greatest stocks that we invest in. We don't really invest in a lot of people like Lynch does or Shearson Lehman. Those guys are flipping in and out of stocks. We pick 3 or 4 stocks a year. It's why we never had a losing quarter in 75 years of the market. And for Bear Stearns being on where we look at our clients and say, we have a deal here that's going to at least make you between 6 to 14 fold. Guy would go, what's the stock? I go, it's Waste Management. You have to throw your trash out. It's one of the most safest. Also, if you want to parlay that up with Sarah Lee, you can. And if you want, you can also add Trojan Rubber. And he goes, Trojan Rubber, Sarah Lee, and Waste Management. I go, yeah, you got the safe one, you got a little volatile one, and you got one that's going to go through the roof and probably give you 18-fold. Why would you know this? He goes, well, because here at Bear Stearns, we have insight and we don't do a lot of trading. The CDC is going to come out and say that the AIDS epidemic is going to be a national and worldwide thing, and Trojan stock is going to trade at $3.38 this week, and next week it could get to as high as $118 a stock. And that's something that I would think you'd be interested in, a 14-fold increase. Your portfolio goes up, plus you're safe on Intel Z. If you want to add, you can go there. The guy will go like this. How do you know this information? We only trade 3 or 4 stocks a year. That's why we've never had a losing quarter. And hey, Yale goes insider. Well, that's why Yale, that's why Bear Stearns ain't around anymore. You ever hear of Michael Milken? Series, you got your Series 7? Of course I do. It's not updated, but of course, Merrill Lynch helped me get it. And then I finished it up with Bear Stearns. Yeah, I got a Series 7. I passed the Series 7, yes. And then I got into acquisitions and mergers with Nabisco. And we did the Sarah Lee Nabisco merger, and I did it with Ace Greenberg, who ran, and that was Trump's guy. Yeah. Michael Milken, met him. Hey, how would you like to be Michael Milken? The guy who was really the Gordon Gekko. Get this, Xander. Guy goes to jail and has to pay a fine of $1 billion to his investors. Problem was he made 6. So when he got out, he's sitting in the can. He gets out, he's richer. I would do it. Hey, give me 4 years. My stocks go up and I'm out richer. I'm in. With the fire of Doug Peterson, these front office is set the team back. We're truly paying for it. It's just too volatile. You don't lose in the market until you sell. Well, Bob, this is how you actually, this is how you make money. You call your client up. Let's just say a stock is 10 grand. I get $1,500 trading the stock, and I get $1,500 when you leave the trade. I make $3 grand off that. Now, a lot of these fiduciary companies like Fisher, they don't take that any longer. But back in the day when you worked at Stearns or Shearson Lehman and you worked at Merrill Lynch, you got 15 in, 15 out. That was your net number. So if it's 100 grand, think about this. You get 15,000 in, $15,000 out. You make $30,000 on that exchange. And if it's $1 million deal, I get $150,000 and then another $150,000 when you trade the stock. I get 300 grand on that. I mean, okay. I mean, yeah, that's how you make your money. That's why a lot of people don't like to do any trades less than 10 grand. What's the point? So, and I look at NFL teams like that. Xander's probably like, I didn't think this guy was this smart. You were in the mortgage business? Yeah, you're talking Fannie Mae and those. Bill Clinton destroyed the Fannie Mae business by giving extended loans on homes that people couldn't afford. And when Fannie Mae crashed, it destroyed the entire economic market. And that's why those banks, when Obama went in and he went into the White House, it was because of Clinton. Clinton had bankrupted the entire mortgage industry because they were giving loans to people who could not pay for homes. And people were throwing their keys on the floor and just leaving because there was no way of getting out from under the mortgage. Freddie Mac, absolutely. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae destroyed the real estate business. And many of those banks, when Obama went into the White House, Bush too, he didn't help. Absolutely. Absolutely. Silz, that's why Howie extends the risk, buys his cost basis, goes down, and still hits big if they go on a run. Yeah, he kind of runs it like that, like he's a stockbroker. He really does. And I see a lot of the same characteristics. Okay? So imagine playing for Nick Sirianni as your coach. I would hate that. Okay? Silz, do you have to put a lot of money down in the beginning of stocks? No. No, you can actually go on those trader sites now, spend as much as $100. You know, you want to hear this? Jimmy Johnson makes more money trading. What's that one site you can go on? Jimmy makes $5 million a year trading stocks. He makes more money doing that than he does working at Fox. It's a true statement. Stay, what's up, my friend? What's up? I'm going to take a break here. And we'll take a break. We're coming up to the 3:00 hour. I didn't want to take as many breaks, but we posted some stuff that's on the website too. I got another topic that I'm going to hit here. Okay. We'll come back out. We'll hit the topic. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.